didn't fix the chart. So you guys, hi everybody, this is Lee at Fresh Astrology, and we're going to look at February 2020 for Cancer here. I'm joined today by my co-founders and colleagues from Camille. So we've got Carolyn here. Hi everyone. And Mimi.
Hello.
And you guys chat with them for a second because I forgot to pull up the Cancer chart. So you guys start. Okay.
Well, Mimi and I are joining Lee today because, as Lee mentioned, we are her partners in a coaching business called Camille Coaching. And we are just always curious about how we can personally take Lee's astrology, which she shares with us, and sort of partner it with a coaching tool or some resources that we have for ourselves to get the most out of it. So we want it to work in our favor and not just allow it to happen to us. And so we thought we'd jump on and talk about that type of thing through during your reading. So
and I've started to let my audience know that it would be crazy not to talk about the tools that we've developed. Because in the beginning, I did a video like the other day, and I was explaining to people, like, in the beginning, we made a conscious decision that I would not mix the two businesses, and you guys were like, no, astrology does it, it's not really our thing. And so we kept the businesses separate, but in doing that, and not thinking about the astrology at all three of us really got on this thing about, teaching how to find your purpose. And then once you find your purpose, how do you live aligned with your purpose? And so this 2020, the astrology is all about purpose. It is all about finding your authentic self, connecting to it, and living from that place. And I was like, this would be nuts if we didn't combine a little bit, because people really need to know. I feel like people really need to know, and they need help too. If they don't know.
And it's our mission to help, especially women that are in transition, either becoming empty nesters or divorcing, or just been in the corporate world and don't want that anymore, to help them live a life that feels more purposeful to them, that they wake up each day and just fired up to see, what that day is going to bring, and excited about what they're doing. And they feel really comfortable with money, having money, making money, spending money. I mean, those are the passions of ours. So when we said 2020 was a year all about purpose with astrology, we're like, well, this would be a great time for us to share that message with her audience.
Yes. And so let's take a look at the astrology first, because I know you want to hear about February. So we're going to start there. But if these guys can think of anything that we offer that addresses the stuff that's going on for Cancer, they're going to chime in. All right.
Yeah. It's also a great chance for us to learn about astrology. I don't know a lot about it. So I'm watching this chart.
Before you know it, you'll be an astrologer. Okay, so Cancer, the intensity has been in Capricorn. We've been talking a lot about that. That's the area of relationship for you, right? And that is still there. It's still there. But as I've been saying to people, the intensity is going to kind of wax and wane and ebb and flow throughout the year. Whereas January was up here, February dips a little bit. So it's still intense, but it's not as. And it's a good time to be working on some things wherever your mission is. And so we'll talk about what the mission is in February for you guys. We do have a Mercury retrograde starting in the month of February. And in the same kind of area of the chart, we've got a new moon in Pisces. So some of the energy from January started to flow around the chart and hit Aquarius and Pisces, and even Aries, because Venus is way out in front. So let's talk about what's going on for Cancer. There's still a big relationship emphasis here, because Mars toward the end of the month is going to go over what's called the descendant line. And that means it's entering the 7th house of long-term relationships. So it's still a very relationship. We just can't get away from the relationship message too much. But in terms of what's new in February and what's really happening that's unique to February, there's kind of what I think of as a threshold. And people who've watched me for years know I use this, analogy all the time. There's like a door that opens, and there's this particular threshold that's activated. at different times in the astrological calendar. And so for you guys, there's this little doorway, this important threshold between Aquarius and Pisces. And Aquarius governs, for Cancer, Aquarius governs the house of big money. It's where you get your loans. It's where you buy and sell real estate. It's where you do investments. It's where you decide how to manage your money. Sometimes it's inheritance money. It's money or lottery money for the few who, win the lottery. And so that's where the sun is as we begin the month, and it's there for a few weeks. And so it's a nice time to spotlight and pay attention to your money. And then Mercury starts the month in this area of money. So it's a great money month to focus on, to think about, to rethink, to examine, research, maybe investments, maybe loans, whatever is relevant to you. And then what happens is the threshold moves, these planets and the lights through the threshold and into the ninth house. The ninth house is all about global activities, broadening your mind, a bigger vision. It's also, there's kind of a learning curve here. Some people might literally be taking a college level class or taking some kind of learning something that's kind of at a higher level. Maybe it even has to do with writing or marketing. It doesn't have to be totally college level or college credit if the topic is writing, publishing, marketing, sales, maybe a legal, like a CLE class. So some people may be learning something in those areas and implementing. And if you are, it's a time to really pay attention, review, hang out with the information, really learn it, really get it under your belt. It's also, the ninth house is associated with travel. So just as a little bit of a preparedness, when you have a Mercury retrograde for travel, you want to have a plan B and C. You want to probably carry on luggage, or if you can't carry on all your luggage, you want to have all your vitals with you in a backpack, so that if your baggage is delayed, you have what you need, like medications, your computer, things like that. And just think in terms of a plan B and C, because we can't avoid travel during all three Mercury retrogrades. They each last 3-ish plus weeks. That would be 9, 10 weeks, 11 weeks out. And then there's like the shadow phase on either side of a retrograde. You can't disrupt your life that way. So sometimes we just have
a little more preparedness.
Yeah, a little more preparedness, and knowing that
things may go haywire.
A part of travel is the delay. It is the hiccups that happen. And anybody who travels a lot knows that you just have to put up with stuff. It's not fun, but it happens. So in terms of coaching tools, guys, if they're dealing with money issues, some relationship stuff, but money issues, some of the relationship stuff, just for you to, for your knowledge, can be with business partners or people you partner with in business, maybe even very impactful clients. So there could be that. And then this idea of learning and knowledge, publishing, marketing, broadening your mind. It seems like the biggest theme maybe is money.
Yeah, sounds like money, maybe a little bit of mindset.
A little bit of mindset, yeah. Right.
Mindset can affect your relationships.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. And your money and your job and your
right.
And
mindset
in your
affects
life.
all, really.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, if this was my sign, I would have been excited when you said big money. Like I like the notion of
big money.
Big money.
But again, how do you partner with that? Like if that's the astrology, right?
Yeah.
You want to do what you can do to make sure that you're allowing that energy to happen to you. So we have free tools that
yeah, so we have some links below that cover this. So we have these bullet journals. Do you guys want to explain what a bullet journal is? Because not everybody even understands what a bullet journal is.
Well, there's a whole bullet journal system, but a lot of it is a little more free form, a little more colorful, a little more playful. And then we've built our bullet journals off of some coaching prompts that that we use and we thought were successful. So it's like we have a money shift bullet journal, and we call them shifts. It's just 7 days, but over those 7 days, we kind of want to shift a little bit how you feel and what your relationship is with money. And they're, they're fun. So they're a good idea.
Also very effective.
Yeah, a lot of free form. We left a lot of white space on the page, so you can kind of play with them in the way that's most comfortable for you.
Mm-hmm. And my son was, who's in the membership lounge. I actually drew his name. We do a free reading for the members in the membership lounge. And I was like, do I give it to my son or do I just draw again? And I'm like, well, I guess I should.
Win.
He did win. So I offered it to him and he took it. And so my son, I bring it up because he's a Cancer. And so in terms of when I look at this chart, he absolutely is focused on money, hands down. And he's taking some university level classes. But he's definitely he's in like a marketing research phase, focus group phase. He's looking for investors for a product that he's developed. And so this is so spot on for him. So I wonder if some of the Cancers, even if you're not watching while this is live, you can ask questions later and I'll get back to you. But I wonder if some of you have something like that going on.
Yeah. And you said international too. So I was like,
international thing,
be a fun way to kind of think about what you can do with
globally.
There's a lot of investments now, that are geared specifically towards international endeavors, and you can even invest, in small companies internationally. I have a few that, I invest in women starting up their own business internationally. So it's ways to kind of combine them.
Yeah, you could combine those themes. So the links are below for our freebies, but they're free.
Yeah,
and
fun,
and it's a great way to kind of engage with us and just try out some of our tools to see what you think. We encourage you to do that, and by all means, let me know. I see not a lot of people I see people watching, but I don't see a lot of vocal people here, and that's okay. That happens. But
shoot questions if you have them.
Yeah, shoot some questions, even from me and Carolyn, and I'll ask them and they can answer back. All right, bye guys.
Bye, see you later.